Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This video is on standard deviation. It's done in math and in math, usually form 4 and form 5. Now the thing is, the difference between the math and the math sections are, well, math, we just need to know how to interpret standard deviation, whereas in math, we need to know how to interpret it as well as calculate it. This video, however, is really just based on the interpretation and its relation to the normal bell-shaped curve, right? So please stay tuned to see my breakdowns and interpretation of standard deviation. So standard deviation, what is it really? Well, it is the measure of dispersion of a set of data from its mean. Now, firstly, it's a calculated value. So it's a numerical value. And what this is really saying is that this tells us how far away all our values are from its mean. Now, if you don't understand that, let me use an example. Say there were two classes. Say there was form 4X and form 4Y, Z. Say the number of students here were 37 and the number of students here were also 37. And say I told both classes, here's what, I want you to get me your favorite number from 1 to 10. Say the average value, which is the mean for 4x, was 7. And say the mean for 4z was also 7. Now also, let me put in some additional information. The standard deviation for 4x was 3. Whereas the standard deviation for 4z was 8. Now, what we notice here, they have the same mean, n, they have the same mean, but the standard deviations vary. This is smaller and this is bigger, right? Now, let's see how this will play a part in our data. Now, this smaller standard deviation is telling me that my values, the 37 values that I got, are very close to the 7. So in the 37 values, there were probably lots of 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, etc. Close around 7. Whereas a standard deviation of 8 tells me that in the 37 for 4z, the spread was wider. So lots of people probably went from 1, 2, 3, and 7, etc. and going up to 10. Who knows? The spread of values was wider. So the next thing I want to go into is the bell-shaped curve. So the bell-shaped curve for 4x would be like this. Now this is supposed to be a straight line like this. Now the bell-shaped curve will come up like this and come down like this. I'll go down to 0 around here, well, close to 0. Yeah. Here at this point here, it's symmetrical, and this value here is my mean. So this would be 7 for 4x, right? Now, seeing if my standard deviation is 3, it will peak higher here. It'll go up more. Whereas the bell-shaped curve for 4z would be a lot flatter. It would be like probably this. Something like that. Where again, the middle value is the mean, the symmetrical line, right? So this is how you could interpret the bell-shaped curve with standard deviation. A smaller standard deviation means that it's a steeper curve. A bigger standard deviation means that it's a flatter curve, and it's because the spread is wider, whereas a smaller standard deviation said that the spread is narrower. Now, the final thing I want to go through here now is the spread of the bell-shaped curve. Now, for standard deviation, the mean, for bell-shaped curve, this mean middle value here would be the mean. Now, it wouldn't be 0, it'll be whatever value it is. Say it was 7, right? Now, if we are looking at standard deviation here now, this value here, 1, would actually be 1 standard deviation away from 7. So say we are looking at from 4x, where my mean was 7, and my standard deviation was 3, then this value here will be 7 plus 3, which will be 10, whereas this value here will be 7 minus 3, which will be 4. So this point here and this point here is actually 1 standard deviation away. This one is adding 1 and this one is taking away 1. Now this also represents 34%. This side here is 34% of the entire value, and this other side is 34%. So again, the total of these two will be 68%, and the area under the curve will actually be that amount. Now, the next thing I want to go on to is the next section here. This is actually 2 standard deviations away. So this is 1 more standard deviation away this way, and this one here is another one away this way. So adding another 3 to here, this would be 10 plus 3, 13 would be this value here. This would be 4 minus 3, 1 would be this value here. And this represents 13.5% and 13.5% as well. Now when I add up this and this to my 68, I'll get 95%. So if I have 5% left, then it's only obvious that here will be 2.5 and here will be 2.5%. Everyone, this takes me to the end of my video. This video is ready for math students and for advanced students who just want to understand what is standard deviation. I didn't go into how it's calculated. If it is you need to get that done, not a problem. Send me a comment and I will get it done. But please, I hope that you understand what it's about, and I hope that this topic is a lot clearer for you. Feel free to share and like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.